Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Hi, Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to the Slippery Slope. So let's get straight into these few stories that have come up. Remember, this wannabe politician, Greens politician, who was, protesting for Palestine. New South Wales police officer has been charged with assault over the arrest of the former Greens candidate, Hana Thomas, during a pro-Palestinian rally in Sydney earlier this year. So Thomas, who's 35, was injured when she was detained during a protest in June. Anyway, so the most important thing about this, I believe, so police confirm a 33-year-old senior constable from a specialist command had been ordered to appear in a Bankstown court in November on a charge of assault resulting in actual bodily harm. In a statement, the New South Wales Police said the officer was being managed in the workplace and his employment status is under review. Thomas's lawyer, Peter O'Brien, said on Tuesday the criminal charge against the officer was an important first step, but signalled further legal action was imminent. He described the arrest as a cowardly, gratuitous, and compensable act of violence. O'Brien said they would also be prosecuting a case against the state of New South Wales. I believe this is the most important part of this case, okay? Because the state and the police as a whole, they're using the law as a weapon. They're weaponizing the law. So he said he's prosecuting a case against the state on the basis that the charges brought against Thomas amounted to a malicious prosecution, and that the decision to pursue such baseless and groundless charges are constituted a misfeasance in public office conducted by New South Wales Police. This kind of behaviour, this is exactly what happens in Queensland, in Victoria, all over our land. I've seen it happen in Queensland here. They use the law as a weapon. They weaponize the law. They have this malicious prosecution, and it all goes to court, and they let it all drag out. They let you spend your money. You get all stressed out trying to fight this case, trying to work out how you're going to defend yourself, and then at the last second they'll go and pull the charges or change the charges, drop everything, and neato it and say, oh, well, there's nothing to see here. It's lawfare. Weaponizing the law, malicious prosecution, regardless of, whether you think they're just using this police officer as a scapegoat. It's the New South Wales government and the New South Wales police that I believe really need to be held accountable. So he goes on to say it was a real and stark concern that the immediate response by the leadership of New South Wales Police in the immediate aftermath of Miss Thomas' injury being sustained was that officers had done nothing wrong despite clear and objective evidence to the contrary. And this is also the issue I have with all the statements that come out after, especially here in Queensland, when someone gets shot by a police officer. It's always the immediate, police officers have done nothing wrong, and I get you want to be able to support, you want to be able to defend your officer, but you can't just come out straight out and say, "Yep, nothing was done wrong. Just trust us when we're telling you someone's been shot, someone's been killed. We're not going to give you. We tell you we're transparent. We're only going to give you a vague outline of what happened. But hey, trust us. Nothing was done wrong. Nothing was done wrong. It's all the other person's fault. Always the other person's fault. And there is nothing else that could have been done other than shooting. Nothing else. Because, anyway, so this is the other issue I have. So when they turn around and say, well, nothing's been done wrong, despite clear and objective evidence in the contrary. So police, not just the police officer, but the New South Wales government or whatever state government and the police service of whatever state, they always need to be held accountable. That's why I believe this case is so important. So important, not just for New South Wales, but for services all around Australia, so they can see this is what happens when you go about malicious prosecution, when you go about using the law as a weapon against the citizens. So, although I'm not a fan of what what this young lady was protesting for, I don't agree with anything that she was protesting for. I don't agree with any of what she was talking about. I do not believe for a second, and I think it's disgusting how our police services across the nation have been using the law as a weapon, and all of them are guilty of this malicious prosecution. Okay, so the last story I wanted to get into was this. New South Wales has got a new police commissioner. Long-serving senior officer Mal Lanyon has been announced as New South Wales' 24th police commissioner. Lanyon replaces the first female police commissioner, Karen Webb, who took on the role in 2022. So he promised to lead with honesty, accountability, and integrity. Which is fairly funny considering this is one of the first stories that came out about him. Australia's newest police chief has been forced to defend himself in a heated back and forth, prompting his political master to argue the incoming boss didn't have to be mistake free. So he's been, though the veteran New South Wales police officer has long been considered the front runner, leaks about a drunken episode and a decision to bring his close circle onto a police boat for a New South Wales fireworks continue to follow him. You got to wonder about someone's decision making if that's what you've decided to do. Immediately after the announcement, Lanyon was forced to field questions from reporters about the 2021 incident. Wow. So that's fairly recent history, near the Goulburn Police Academy, when he was found drunk on the footpath and abused ambulance officers. Really? That is deplorable behavior. I deeply regret the circumstances. He regrets the circumstances. He regrets the fact that he was caught out. That's what he regrets. I deeply regret the circumstances of that evening, and they were completely out of character. Lanyon also expressed regret for inviting his wife and two friends onto a command post on Sydney Harbour on New Year's Eve in 2023. So this is a separate incident. 21, he's found drunk on a footpath. 23, he's invited his wife and two friends on a command post. So it would seem that making poor decision making, it's not just a one-off event. I bet you there's probably other decisions that he's made in the past that people would be looking at saying, oh, that probably wasn't the wisest decision. If he's got a history of poor decision making, how could they possibly have made him police commissioner? Seriously, things are going that badly in New South Wales. This is the kind of person. Premier Chris Minns said Lanyon had performed in some of the toughest jobs, including heading up Sydney Metropolitan Policing, the force's statewide crime command, and leading squads targeting high-risk DV offenders. This decision was not made based on who had the mistake-free perfect record. No one is mistake-free. But if you got a history of making poor decisions, surely there's someone else that may have been better off, that may have been better for the role. Then the officer in New South Wales, which, like I said, I think it's a bigger story than the officer in New South Wales being charged with assault. It's more about New South Wales government and the New South Wales police force as a whole and the way they have been weaponizing the law, weaponizing the legal system, and using this malicious prosecution to force people's hands, even though they're the ones that are actually in the wrong. And then please let me know what you think about this New South Wales commissioner. Surely, if you've got a history of poor decision making, surely there's someone else out there that might have been just a smidge better than this chap. But let's wait and see how it goes. This is the poor state of policing across our nation at the moment. I'm Jay Fallon. Please let me know what you think. Please give me a like and a share. Please give me some support by checking out my music as well. Buy me a coffee if you want, or check out my music on Spotify or Apple Music. I'm Jay Fallon, and thanks for listening. Remember, this is all just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening.
They just fuel the desire that will take me high.